Hi, in this video I'll be showing you this. It's the Reolink Arga 3 Pro wireless camera. And what I want to do today is first of all get the product unboxed. I want to get it all set up, go and install it on the front of my house and show you how the app works. So I'm really looking forward to doing this video. But I would appreciate it, just before I start, if you give me a quick subscribe on my YouTube channel. First of all, need to get it unboxed. Now I have actually, if you follow me on YouTube, or if you had a look at my account, you will see that I have actually installed a couple of cameras before from Reolink. So I'm really looking forward to this because I was really impressed with how the others were installed, the quality of them. But this is a slightly different design. This is a wireless one. On one of the previous ones, one of the previous Reolink cameras, it was linked in, so it was all connected and through the house into the router, and that was okay. Yeah, that seemed to work at the time. I must admit, where I'm installing it at the moment, I can't have any wires. I just want this purely wireless. That's why I'm quite excited at this. So first of all, as we open the box, got the little camera itself. Looks very, very smart. We've got one of the mounting. That's where we'll screw that to the wall. We've got other accessories, so we've got some of the raw plugs that will be needed, charging lead. Clearly, I know I've said it's wireless, but at some point you are going to need to charge it, so you'll just need to take it off, bring it aside and charge it. Little strap there, and then that'll be, I think that's part of the mounting, so I'm just going to pop that to the side. Now there are actually two options when it comes to using or connecting this up. So first of all, you can use the battery option, or you've got this option as well, and this is actually a solar panel. So I suppose the main advantage of using the solar panel, that's it, that would just sit next to it. So the main advantage is if you didn't want to go and charge it up or bring it in, because for some people you think, well, I don't really want the hassle of having to go and recharge it, you just want to use the solar panel. This is actually a really, really good option, and on one of the other videos I did use the solar panel, and to this day that is still working. We never have to bring it in, and that's the advantage of using the solar panel. It just charges the battery up within the camera. Now for this video, I must admit, because of where it's going, I'm not going to put the solar panel up, I'm just going to put the camera up. So within the instructions, you've got it's quite a detailed book of instructions in there. I'll just have a quick look at that first of all. I must admit, I'm not a huge fan of instructions. If you follow me on YouTube for a while, you know that I'm not really one for looking at the instructions, but on some of the some items, especially where I want to get it really accurate and I know I want to get it right first time, then I do have a quick look at the instructions, like I have on this occasion. You've got a couple of stickers, well not a couple, you've got quite a few stickers that you can put, I suppose, on a window outside. I might do that just within the kitchen window, just show people that I have got a camera up. That's quite good. You've got some other, what's this? It's just some of the declaration of conformity. That could be interesting. But the main thing that is really good, you've got a little template here. So that's good if you, well, I suppose when I go and install it on the front of the house, then I want to know that the spacing I'm putting the two holes in is completely accurate. I want to make sure it's up and level. And there's little things like that that can make the installation a whole lot easier. As far as these other accessories, first of all, this is actually a table stand. So if you wanted to put the camera just on a table like that, if you didn't want to wall mount it, if you just wanted this standing like it is, then you can just have it angled at whichever angle you want it. It's just got a couple of little spongy pads there that the camera sits within. Personally, I'm not going to use that because I'm actually going to wall mount it. Also the strap, that's, I must admit, I did have to refer to the instructions for this, just see what the strap was all about. But what you can do with this is if you wanted to put it, say, around a tree, then all you need to do is just at the back here, you put the strap through there, and then you would put that around the tree, and then you can install the camera as you would normally do, like I'm going to put it up on the wall. So that's rather than screwing it into the tree. And again, it's little things like that that, as I said earlier, just can make the installation of the camera a lot easier. When it comes to storing the video footage, there's a couple of ways you can actually store it. The first one is you can use the Reolink Cloud. That is an option, and clearly with that you don't have to worry about storing anything within the camera. Personally, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a micro SD card. This is one of the tiny SD cards, and that just fits underneath. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this in. You can use up to 128 gigabyte micro SD card. I'll just show you. So that just slots in there like that, but it helps if you get it the right around. I had a 50-50 chance. So now that's clicked in place, you will also notice that you've actually got the on and off switch next to it. I'm actually going to go and switch this on because I do want to start setting it up. I do want to get this set up. Oh, even sings a little song to us, but it is recommended to really get it set up, I suppose, before I go and install it. But the only thing to do just before you put it up is to make sure it's fully charged. So I've actually done that earlier, make sure it's fully charged. I think with that little song, that's telling me that the camera is ready to be installed. Now the only thing I would do is to download the Reolink app on your phone. This is something I have previously done with the other cameras, but what I'd recommend, just download the Reolink app, and then at the top you'll see a plus button. So I'm just going to get that loaded up now. The first thing you need to do is to get the Wi-Fi connected to it. I've just put in my Wi-Fi code, and now I've done that after scanning it. Now it's asking to connect the camera to the Wi-Fi network, face it to your phone, and let the camera scan the QR code on the screen. So this is quite interesting.
Camera is connecting to your router. Please wait. Connection to the router succeeded. Welcome to Reolink. Connection to the router succeeded. Welcome to Reolink.
Very good. So connection to the router succeeded. I had the voice prompt next. So just need to connect the device. So now it's doing the device initialization. So I want to enter a password for the device. So I just created a password for the device. Now it's saying that I can name the device. Now what you can do is, if you've got several cameras around your property, then you might want to name it as the location where it is. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to put front of house. So that's what I'm going to call it. Next. And is it indoor or outdoors? Because as I mentioned earlier, if you've just got it indoors and if you're just using the little table stand, then you might not want to use that. So I'm going to put it as outdoors. So now it just says initialization is finished. Personally, I think that's really easy. Just getting it set up to the Wi-Fi. As long as you know your code, as long as you know your Wi-Fi code, then that's ever so easy. Finish. So now you can see, so it's got the front of house there. That's showing one of the other cameras that I've got. At the moment it's just saying the connection is just trying to connect. Because of where I am at the moment, then it's out of the... So you can just see here that that's the camera. So you can see me from the camera. Ooh, I don't really know if you want to see that. But this is a little bit weird, having a separate camera. But really what I want to do now is, now I've got that set up, I must admit that is really good quality. Apart from when it's looking at me, that's not so great. But now I've got the camera set up, I think what I want to do is I want to go and get it installed. As I say, before you do it, just make sure the camera's fully charged. Although it has got a good charge in it anyway, you just want to make sure, especially if you're going to put it up high, then you just want to make sure that it is fully charged. When I go outside, you will notice that the weather conditions are almost the worst conditions to be installing a camera. Now here in the UK, when I'm recording this, it's early March, but we've just had a snow spell overnight, and despite the snow, I've decided to get my ladder out and I'm going to go and install the camera anyway. I was going to leave it for a couple of days, but no, I just want to go and do it. So I'm going to get my boots on, get my big coat on, and I'm going to go and start installing the wall mount. But what I'm going to do, you don't actually need all of it. I don't need to take much out with me actually. Oh, so put that to one side. So all I'm going to do, it's much easier to show you here. I'm going to go and drill 2 holes. So I've got the 2 holes there. I am going to take the template outside with me as well. So I'm just going to pop that on the wall, mark on the wall where I want it to be, and then just put the raw plugs. So they're the raw plugs there. But as I say, it's just having a quick look outside. It looks like it's not stopped snowing. So I might give it a couple of minutes, just wait for it to stop snowing, and then I'm going to go and start installing the wall mount into the wall. So what I've done is I've just screwed the wall mount to the wall. That was really easy, only took me a couple of minutes. I've got the camera, and all I've done is I've attached the bracket onto the back there. What we need to do is just screw that on, and I am just going to climb the ladder just to show you how easy it is to put, or just to screw it onto the bracket on the wall. I just wanted to show you the conditions I've been working with. You can see that there's a whole load of snow here at the moment, but it's been absolutely freezing cold, so I'll just move the camera up a little bit. While I've got a cup of tea brewing, I'll just show you that I've just put the ladder away. I have just moved the angle slightly of the camera, just angled it down slightly so it covers the whole of the front area of the little patch of garden and also my car. But I think up there, that's almost the ideal spot. I'll just take you over to show you where it is. As you can see, it's up there. It doesn't really get noticed, but I think what I want to do is I'm going to go back inside, get my cup of tea, and I'm going to start to have a look at some of the settings on the camera. So what I've done, I've actually had the camera up and running for around 2 or 3 days now. A lot of the snow has gone, so fortunately when I was putting the camera up, it was a bit of a nightmare, a little bit slippy, but I managed it in the end, and battled with the rain as well, putting it up. But overall, I'll be honest, what I wanted to do was just to give it a bit of a test drive, give it 2 or 3 days. I wanted to check some of the footage, and I must say I'm actually really impressed. What I've done is I've kept a close eye on my phone, because I've just downloaded it on my phone, and I'll just show you. So this is a live view. I know the quality probably won't be too good on the camera, but I must say here it is absolutely fantastic. And what you can do is you can actually zoom in. So if there's certain parts that you wanted to zoom into, then you can do that. As I say, this is a live view. What you can do is if you turn it sideways as well, then it's just a landscape view, so it's a little bit bigger. What you've also got the ability to do, and clearly you can play back. So if you wanted to go back through some of the previous footage, then you just press the playback, and this highlights all of the times where the PIR has been activated, and that's when it's recording. I don't need it to record all the time, because what I've done is I've just almost put a certain section. So once I've finished recording, after installing the camera, what I did is actually I tweaked it a little bit, because I wanted to mainly get my car in and the front, I suppose the garden. I don't need to get in the street, it's not of interest to me. I just wanted to record the bit on my property. What you will notice is that the day recording is very good. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to find a piece of footage. This is a bit of a random one. So this is me just putting the bin out. So that's just, I think it was earlier in the day that I was doing that. So very, very sharp. I'm really impressed how sharp it is. There's one or two other cameras that I have talked about in the past, and they certainly weren't as sharp as this one. What I will do is I am going to find some night footage as well, because this is it's got fantastic night vision as well. So you will notice that's me coming back. That was last night. Now a lot of it, sometimes it does buffer a little bit, but that's normally down to the internet because it's streaming it all the time. And I must say the internet I've got here isn't fantastic. That's why it looks like I'm a little bit juddery. But overall, and I suppose having a look at the night vision on here, I can't believe how clear it is. I've just zoomed in, and you can read where it says Type R on the side of my car. And bear in mind that is, well, it's about 11 o'clock at night. And it is basically pitch black. Some of the other features, you've got things like push notifications. So if you've got, say if you had an alert where the camera has gone off, it's detected that someone has gone onto your property, then it can send you an email with some snapshots. It can also alert you on your phone as to if you've got somebody at your property as well. Also, you've got the option for a spotlight to come on if somebody walks onto your property, or even a siren as well. Now, I must admit, the siren I'm probably not too keen on. Especially where I live, there are a lot of houses, but I must admit, if you're in a bit more of a remote area, then that could be a really good option. Also, you've got a built-in speaker microphone through the camera. So if somebody arrives at the door, if you want them to be there, so if you've got a parcel to be dropped off, then you can just tell them where to leave the parcel, because what it will do is it will notify you when you get a movement, or when you get some movement through the camera. It'll alert you on your phone, then you can speak to them through the camera. Absolutely fantastic. Also, I suppose the other main advantage is if someone is on your property that you don't want to be there, then you can talk to them or shout at them to get off your property. Once it's all set up, then you can actually set certain zones within the picture where it will only activate. So as you can see on my driveway, if I only wanted my car and just the pathway, nothing to do with the grass or the garden, then you can just select those specific places. And again, that can be really good, because if the camera is quite a distance away, and if you didn't want it to record, for example, if I didn't want it to record the front strip which is just onto the road, then that's another really good option as well. I suppose the only other thing to mention, I know I didn't actually install the solar panel. Really what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep an eye on it for the next couple of weeks, just see what the battery life is like on the camera. Because clearly what I don't want to be doing is going and taking the camera down, putting it on charge, going up and doing that every couple of weeks. I've had this up for about 3 days at the moment, and we're only down to, well, I've just checked on the battery, are about 96%, so that's very good so far. But I think what I'll do is I'll probably give it a couple of weeks, and then I'll decide whether I put the solar panel up. I must say, because when I talked about one of the other Reolink cameras, I did put the solar panel up, and I never had to touch it. And I suppose the main advantage, that was in a little bit more of a remote location. I just attached that to a fence post, so that was ideal to have the solar panel. And as I say, it always remained at between 96 and 100%. Clearly it depended on the weather, and sometimes whether the sun was out, as to how well it was charging the camera, but I never ever had to recharge it. So personally, I suppose I'd recommend putting the solar panel up. And I think in the end, I think I will put it up. It's just really because of the weather that I didn't do it the other day. But as I say, I'm going to keep an eye on that. If you are thinking about buying one of these, I have provided a link below to show you where to get one at a competitive price. I hope you enjoyed the quick video on the Reolink Argus 3 Pro camera. It's a little bit of a mouthful, Argus 3 Pro, put my teeth back in. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the quick video on this, the Argus 3 Pro camera. It's a little bit better. All I'd normally say is please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Just give us a quick thumbs up, click subscribe and leave any comments below. I'd always ask for comments, whether it's good or bad about the video. As I said earlier, there's a huge amount that I could cover on this. I suppose what I've tried to do is I've tried to cover the sort of setup process, going through setting the app up, installing the camera, giving you a quick demonstration of it after I've got it all installed. So I try not to make the videos too long. I think sometimes it can be a bit too long for people to watch, but anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. Also, if you have got one of these, or if you have got one of the Reolink cameras, let me know what you think about it, because I'd always appreciate the feedback. Thanks for watching.